officials, that is. Don Kowarski, Bill McCreary, good to see you both. This is not a Foot Locker ad. You officially were referees at the NHL. A long storied career. Congratulations to you both. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Rios.
Lots to talk about with the game, which we're going to get to in a second, but you're here in Vancouver for good reason with the Making the Right Call program. Tell us about the message you want to get across to the fans.
Well, Crown Royal is the whiskey of the National Hockey League, and they're leveraging their product and their program to create responsible drinking in society, and that's where we're here for, to support that. We want people to make the right call, make sure that they get home safely, make sure their friends and family get home safely, and so that's what their program is all about, make the right call.
And you know, this is a great message considering the liquor policy being under review, especially here in BC. A lot of talks about happy hour. Should there be more drinks served? Well, how long should they be served at the stadiums? A lot of discussion going on, but I mean, you two have a very unique position and a career that you had. Tough calls you had to make all throughout your career. Don, if you look back at your career, what would you say is one of the toughest calls you ever had to make on the ice?
Well, it's, you know, they're all tough. There's nothing easy about it. But probably the toughest situation was the Schoenfeld thing that everybody refers back to 25 years after the fact. But that was tough on our whole staff, our team. But you know what? You put yourself in, I mean, Billy's in gold medal games, game sevens. Any call you make there is a tough call. You know,
it's very interesting, and we were just chatting about the 24/7 HBO documentary about hockey, and you mentioned the Jim Schoenfeld going back to 1988 with that incident. There's a lot of abuse that the officials take when calls are, some of the calls are missed, they're blown, or they're just disagreed with. How do you handle that and keep your head on straight, knowing that, okay, if a call didn't go the way you wanted it to go, how you stay focused and not let that phase you?
Well, let's face it, it's a very emotional sport. It's played at a high pace in an enclosed area, so there's a lot of body contact. Everybody gets emotional. The key for an official is to keep his emotions in check, and to be quite honest with you, the players at all times are very respectful of the officials. Nobody's ever asked for a penalty, so when they get a penalty, they're not happy. I mean, they have a responsibility and accountability to their teammates, to their coaches, to their fans. So it's an emotional sport, and providing they don't cross the boundary and get personal, our guys handle it very well.
And it's emotional on our side too for our guys. Our guys are very passionate about what they do. Yeah. They care about the game, and the emotions run high too. So they, like Bill said, they have to keep everything in check. Short memory, good sense of humor.
And you know, here's Jim Schoenfeld, a look at the incident way back in the day. What was life like on the road? Because there's never really a home game for the referees. What kind of conditioning did you have to go through? Do you get the perks the players get when you're on the road? What was real? Because this, I mean, this was an intense example of, yeah, you're right, people still talk about.
Yeah, that was pretty intense, probably for the following month at home. And I mean, people realize we go home, we have families. This is high-profile thing that happened. Anything we do in our business is high-profile. So, you know, you're a guy in your local community, and there's no hiding from it. So
yeah.
Well, Riaz, we always joke that the National Hockey League symbol stands for no home life. That's what the officials used to say. So, you know, we'd go on the road for 10 days at a time or longer if you lived in the East and come west. So it's very trying on yourself and your family because Dad's not at home. So Mom becomes the school teacher, the principal, all the discipline.
Disciplinarian, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Great deal of sacrifice. And when we look at the game today, I mean, NHL instilling new types of rules, the hybrid icing coming in, the pace is different. Now we have the 2-referee system, which is kind of different from what you guys had. Do you see it as a harder game to manage, given the changes that has happened with the sport, how more aggressive it is?
I think it's a more difficult game to referee now.
Yeah.
Just the emphasis on with 2 referees now, we're expected not to miss anything. I mean, we used to have a saying that when Bill and I refereed the one-man system, you know, a guy would say, well, how come you didn't see that? And we would say, well, if we had eyes in the back of our head, we would have caught it.
Yeah.
Well, now our guys have those eyes in the back of their head, so there's more pressure on them now.
Yeah.
And Riaz, you know, when we were out there by ourselves, it was your game. You were in charge of that game. Now you're trying to mesh 2 thinkings, 2 bodies into one to create a consistency and fair and safe play for the players.
Well, it's a great message on the whole. I guess final question as we wrap this up. When the call you knew the coach wasn't going to like, what was the best way to convey the negative news to the coach? How would you guys ease that message in?
Well, honesty. Honesty is the best policy, and if, especially if you ever made a mistake, you just, you know, admitted your mistake, told the coach, and you move on. There's just no other way to handle it other than being, you know, totally honest, and then that's how you gain respect from the coaches and players.
Riaz, if I can just go back to one thing, you know, we discussed tough calls.
Yeah.
And just, I know the segment's ending here. We've made some tough calls in our life where Bill and I are both honored and to be spokespeople for Make the Right Call with Crown Royal. And we just ask people, you know, you've got to make the right call. And we don't consider drinking responsibly in today's society a tough call like we used to have in our career. So please make that decision, and it's got to start at home when you're going to an event, theater, wherever.
Making the good choices.
Come and see us tomorrow night at the arena. We're going to be there and sign our rink board and participate and be part of Make the Right Call.
We got details on screen as well. You guys are going to be at the BC Liquor Store, Albernian View, too. So some more stories to be shared by these two gentlemen. Thanks for coming on. Great to meet you both.
Pleasure, Riaz. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
All right, you got it. Russ, back over to you.
Oh, thanks.